Let's look forward a few years, shall we, to the year 2021, because Formula One management have given us an idea, a few concepts of what Formula One cars will look like in a few years' time. Now, the aim is to make the cars less aerodynamically sensitive, to allow closer racing and perhaps even more exciting races, Grand Prix, and more overtaking. But the first thing that we can really see is a simplification of the front wing, and this has been being called for a lot of people who think the front wings are too complicated, and it just means that you get dirty, turbulent air, which makes it harder for cars to follow very closely. So a simplified front wing. Moving backwards, we can see that the halo changes into a more sort of swoopy shape, a more aesthetically pleasing shape, while keeping the same safety properties that it has at the moment. But this is an interesting thing. Check out the rear wheel. There's a little cover on the rear wheel, which just curves around to the rear side of it, and that is to stop wheel-to-wheel contact and potentially cars flipping over. It's largely a safety thing, but it acts a little bit aesthetically as well. If you look very closely, if I just bring it across to the Mercedes on the right-hand side, there's a little bit of a guardrail, a barge board, whatever you want to call it, just ahead of the front wheel as well. So that's a change for next season too. So you'll also have a look at the rear wings. They will be lowered a little bit. They're going to be lowered a little bit for next year anyway, but they'll be made to look more aggressive. We can have a look more on the concepts of the cars here, and just an idea. This is the kind of thing that graphic designers and people who do this kind of thing for a living put together, because FOM really thought that, you know, it's a shame when sometimes you see video games where the cars look better than they do in real life. So that's the kind of what they're trying to do, to get the cars that look aggressive, that look futuristic, that your kids might have on their bedroom walls as something to look up to. So just a few concepts on here. We'll have a look at the Ferrari here, and that's an interesting shape of the halo, isn't it? It looks a little bit more like an aero screen, but it looks much more aggressive, a much more aggressive car. And you can see they've taken design cues here from cars of the past. So the shapes of rear wings from the past, both from, I think that's the 312T of the Ferrari of Niki Lauda, back to sort of 90s cars with the swooping engine covers, and sort of 70s cars with those thick rear wings. That's kind of ideas from the past that they're trying to get back to. We can have a little look at another concept on here as well, and that looks a bit more like it, doesn't it? Because that's the idea of 18-inch rims. At the moment, they're 13-inch rims, so the tyre has to be a lot fatter, make it an 18-inch rim, and we've got low-profile tyres. And that's something that's being thought of and thought about both with Pirelli and potentially a new tyre entrant into the sport as well. But I think that this looks fantastic. A little bit more like Formula E is going towards in the next couple of years, but a concept for 2021. So the one thing that the FIA and the FOM are keen on is fan input. So check out their social media channels and tell them what you think, because they say the fan is king and they want to know your views.